Hi everybody. Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about this, but everyone else is, and a lot of what is being said is nonsense, in my opinion. So I wanted to do this really. Yes, I thought I'd use the same medium as many people are, and hopefully I'll explain it in a non-aggressive way, in a concise and succinct manner that makes sense to everybody. I hope I do anyway. I hope that's what I achieve. And because I'm worried, because what I'm seeing is through all this Black Lives Matter thing, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing friends just slowly splitting up. I'm seeing friendships fractured, and that's worrying me, actually. That's worrying me. It's only because a few things aren't being said. A lot's being said, but they're the wrong things. And I just think I'm sitting there, I see these to and fro's on social media and various different platforms, and I think if someone just said a couple of things, then you two wouldn't be having an argument right now. So I'm just going to talk about it for a sec. Very quickly introduce myself. My name is Jerry Che. You'll know that because you're on my page, I guess. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I'm Jerry K when I'm being a stand-up comedian. But I'm English. I'm definitely English. In fact, I wore this T-shirt deliberately. I'm English. Yeah, I'm English. I was born in England, and I was raised in England. I've never lived anywhere else. I don't have another passport. I am definitely English. My parents, however, are Ghanaian. They come over from West Africa in the late 50s, early 60s, and my parents are Ghanaian. So I guess if you're going to listen to this any further, then if you're white and you think I'm not English, then perhaps this isn't for you. If you're black and you think I'm not English, then perhaps this isn't for you. You can stay if you like, but I just have a feeling we're perhaps not talking the same language. So anyway, here we go. So very quickly, let's address one thing firstly. Black Lives Matter. As a comedy promoter, Mike rightly said, if they put 2 at the end of it, Black Lives Matter 2, then that'd have got rid of a lot of the rubbish, wouldn't it? But they didn't, so let's just address that. It's very simple, this actually. Why do we go on about Black Lives Matter? Why is it a movement? It's a movement simply because, or at least White Lives Matter isn't a movement, or All Lives Matter, because no one ever said they didn't. There's nothing ever in the history of time suggesting white lives don't matter. Well, it's never been a suggestion. It's never been a problem. The white man, as a race, and we're the human race, but anyway, as a sub race, has never been oppressed on a large scale. It's never happened. It's just not happened. That's why, plain and simple. That's, for example, just to make an analogy, very simple. We don't have straight pride, do we? I never hear anyone say, why are we on a straight pride march? Well, because we don't need one, do we? It's never been a problem. Yeah, it's been going on since 1969, since the Stonewall marches. Gay people have been oppressed. So they have a movement. That's what gay pride is, right? Don't have straight pride. So you don't need it. And as someone quite rightly said, don't be annoyed you don't have a movement, just be glad you don't need one. So for all those people out there going about the white, if you've got an issue with white, that sums it up. That's very simple. It's not aggressive. Nothing nasty about it. It's very simple, isn't it? It really is. Hey? Don't be annoyed you don't have one. Just be glad you don't need one. That's it. And we don't have straight pride, do we? So it kind of sums it up, I think, very simply. And someone else was saying, a friend of mine was saying something about people getting annoyed with white snowflakes. Is it snowflakes, the term, I believe? White people sort of jumping on the bandwagon, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you this. If black people alone, or BME, if you want to say that, alone make a stand about this whole Black Lives Matter thing, then if no white people are involved, then why does anyone need to? Why does anyone care? Why does anyone need to do anything? Really? We need non-white people, non-black people. We need white people basically there. When I don't care who they are. I don't care why they're doing it. But for me, as soon as I see a white person supporting it, I think, well, that's a friend. That's a friend. That person isn't a racist. That person's a friend. That's it, really. I don't care why they're doing it, really. But just to see them there doing something is a good thing, in my opinion. That's it. Yeah, if it annoys people, it doesn't matter. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It really is. I am a very, very Englishman. Those people who know me know this. I was raised in rural Essex. I'm very much an Englishman. And yet, even now, when my wife and I were talking about moving a house, and we were thinking about where we might live, do you know the first consideration? How are they to black people there? Now, I saw someone talking about other people that have been oppressed in the past. For example, the Irish. And they have. But that's not a conversation they ever have to have, is it, really? Because the difference is, if you're Irish and you walk into a pub in a strange village, a dozen people aren't going to turn around and look at you, are they? You haven't got a big T-shirt on saying, I am Irish. You know? It'd be wrong if they did, nonetheless. But the point I'm making is, it's not an issue, is it? Not an issue. Racism is based on what you look like, not what you are. So when I walk into a pub, as I have done, I've tested out this. When I've gone, I gig all over the country, as you know. All over the world, in fact. I can still, in 2020, walk into a pub, prior COVID, obviously, and people turn around and look at you funny. And I don't mean they're just looking at you as anyone would look at a stranger. I'm talking about they're giving you a look. We all know the look. We all know the look I'm talking about. White people don't put up that. Irish people don't put up that. Jewish people don't put up that. You've been oppressed, but it's a very different thing. It's people judging you negatively on the way you look. That's what they're doing, right? And that, of course, is wrong. And that's what it's all about. People not liking you, making a judgment based on what they've heard or what they've seen, and assuming you do the same thing. Things I do, largely, are the things that most of my white mates do because I grew up with them. So culturally, we're very similar. So we do that stuff. You know, we did it as kids. We went out, we went to the disco, we played football, we pulled the girls or tried to pull the girls. Now, in our families, we have barbecues. I don't drink, but nonetheless, I still go to the pub. I watch football. We all do those things. We all do those things. I don't do these things because I'm black. I do them because I'm a person, right? I'm an English person. That's what we do here. And that's what needs to be understood. Now, I hope that's clear. If it isn't, I'm sure you'll have something to say. But that was quite long. I hope you listened through the end. But I'll just leave you again with it, because this is important, I think. Don't be angry you don't have a movement. Be glad you don't need one. No one is calling for a straight pride march. I think that little bit there sums it up. And hopefully, those of you who are having debates, arguments, disputes with people you thought were friends, just listen to that. Say that to each other. Clears it up, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you. I hope I haven't bored anyone. And let's hope this is all over in a bit, because I'm pissed off with it. Thank you.